Bengals fans, what is going on? Stone Shields on hand for another edition of Bengals Breakdown. Thank you so much for joining us. And on today's show, we are going to make some bold predictions. Training camp is only a few days away at this point, and we got some bold predictions that we got to make. Nothing crazy, but we are going to get a little bit aggressive with some of the things we are about to say. But before we do that, go ahead and comment on today's show. If you are excited for Bengals training camp, spam me in the comment section. If I were you guys, I would be spamming me like crazy because it feels like everything has been leading up to this moment. We're only a few days away. We've been talking, and finally we're going to get some real football action here coming in a few days. So show your excitement in the comment section and spam me right now. All right, my first bold prediction for the Bengals heading into training camp. I'm going to say it. Amarius Mims is going to start at right tackle. How about that? I know that's not the plan, right? They bringing in Trent Brown from in free agency from the New England Patriots. The expectation is that he's supposed to start, but I'm going to go out there and say that Amarius Mims is going to have an outstanding training camp, and he's going to hunt down Trent Brown and beat him out for the job. Amarius Mims was outstanding when he was playing at Georgia. I understand he didn't play a ton. He doesn't have that experience. He's a little bit, raw to some degree, but the traits just pop out at you. Everything about him you like. Again, this guy would have gone a lot higher in the draft if he had more games under his belt at Georgia. I think the Bengals got a massive steal in Amarius Mims. I've been excited about it ever since draft night, and I'm going to say he's going to go out there and win the job. Trent Brown, nothing against the guy. I think he's gotten kind of a bad rap so far, right? He missed some days with mandatory minicamp. He had a family emergency. That happens. Some people around the Cincinnati area have been a little bit hard on him, but guys like Ted Karras have come to his defense and said that, they're excited to play with Trent Brown. Remember, this guy is a world champion, by the way. So I'm not knocking Trent Brown whatsoever. And I think all of these guys are going to have a role. Trent Brown and Amarius Mims specifically, who we're talking about right now. But I'm going to go out there on a limb, and I'm going to say Amarius Mims is going to be that guy week one. Now, I hate to be Mr. Negative, but somebody's probably going to get banged up at some point, right? That's just how it is in the National Football League. So I'm going to go out there and say that Amarius Mims will be that guy week one. But I want to know what you guys think right now in the comment section. Pick a right tackle for Cincinnati. Type AM if you think it is Amarius Mims, and type TB if you think it is Trent Brown in the comment section. This is the pinned comment of today's video, so if that ad comes here on YouTube, that's fine. Take advantage of it. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. All right, second bold prediction. I think the Bengals are going to go out there and break their franchise record for wins. Right now, it is at 12, okay? And they've done that several times. Most recently, 2 years ago, when they went to the AFC Championship and lost in Kansas City. They had 12 wins that year. But when you look at the schedule, keep in mind the Bengals were a fourth-place team last year. Despite the fact that they had a winning record, it was last in the AFC North, so they get that favorable fourth-place schedule. And my goodness, if you got a quarterback like Joe Burrow, you are dangerous if you have a schedule that looks something like this. I just see a lot of wins on the board here for Cincinnati. Kind of looking the back half of the year here. I think that bye falls in a great spot. The Titans game week 15, if you remember last year, going down to Tennessee and just getting smacked by the Tennessee Titans. I think that's going to be a big game for Cincinnati. Seeing a lot of familiar faces down there with Tyler Boyd and Brian Callahan specifically. But, finishing up, going to Pittsburgh, we'll see how big of a game that is late in the year if they can be resting their starters in that game. But top to bottom, just a really favorable schedule for Cincinnati this year, and I've got the Bengals winning at least 13 regular season games. A reminder to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already. We are trying to grow here at Bengals Breakdown, and we've done a good job of that since I have taken over, but we can continue to do that. So hit that sub button, help us out. We'll give you the best Bengals coverage all off season long and all season long as well. You don't want to miss out. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/BengalsTV. Another bold prediction I have is I believe Logan Wilson will be going to the Pro Bowl in 2024. I've got some pushback on on our channel here at Bengals Breakdown saying I've been too hard on Logan Wilson. His year last year was actually a good year. I understand that, but I just see how much talent he has, and my expectations for him are so sky high. This is what Zach Taylor had to say when he signed his extension last year. He said, Logan is a major piece of our young core, and it is a priority to get this deal done. He's been a fantastic leader for our defense and comes in ready to work every single day. He will continue to be a key member of this team as we build toward the future. And Logan Wilson has just been an incredible guy to have on the team for Cincinnati. When you think about, not last year necessarily, but the 2 years prior to that, his play in big moments was significant. And I understand his year last year really was not that bad. But in coverage, when quarterbacks would target Logan Wilson, they typically were completing the football. And I believe he gave up 4 touchdowns last year, so that mark certainly needs to come down. But I've got big expectations for Logan Wilson in 2024. I think he's going to respond to the way he played last year and be better than ever, and really just be a veteran guy out there for Lou Anarumo and just really leading that defense vocally and by going out there with his actions and making plays all across the football field. So you let me know what you think in the comments section. Do you believe Logan Wilson will make the Pro Bowl in 2024? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. All right, another bold prediction I have. I believe Evan McPherson will become the highest paid kicker. I still think this extension gets done before the season starts. Kicker contracts are pretty straightforward as far as NFL contracts go. And as we just know, Dustin Hopkins of the Cleveland Browns just reached an extension with Cleveland. And, I think Evan McPherson is going to be able to shatter those marks, which we'll get to in a second. But looking at what Evan McPherson has done for Cincinnati, this is last year, just a rock-solid kicker, and he's just got a bazooka for a leg. He really has unlimited range. When the Bengals offense gets past the 50-yard line, you kind of sit there and go, oh, yeah, you know what, we're in range for Evan McPherson. And you feel really, really good about it. 100% on extra points last year was huge. Obviously that's a little bit more difficult now that the, extra point has gotten moved back a touch. That's been in effect for several years now, but still noteworthy. 100% extra points, that's big. And long of 56 last year. I mean, this guy can make it from really, I think he can make it from probably 67 yards. Probably wouldn't send him out for that, but he's got a massive leg, and at some point he's going to get his money. Taking a look at what kickers are making around the NFL, obviously Justin Tucker is the best of the best. He's making on average $6 million per year. I think McPherson certainly wants to break that mark, and I think he deserves it, and I think he will. I think he is next in line to reach an extension with the Cincinnati Bengals. And like I said, I think that deal is coming before week 1 of the regular season. And my last bold prediction for you going into 2024, I think a lot of people around the Cincinnati area feel the same way about this, but Joe Burrow is going to win the MVP, right? All I need to see is him stay healthy. If he stays healthy, he's going to get it done for several different reasons. One, we just showed you the schedule. Joe Burrow against the 4th-place schedule, that's going to be certainly dangerous. We'll get to the receivers that he's working with here in a moment. But look at the guys that have previously won this award, right? We've talked about quarterback rankings, right? And we say that Joe Burrow is number 2 in the league. Well, look, Lamar's got 2 of them. Patrick's got 2 of them. Who's won? Aaron Rodgers is also in that top 10 despite coming off that Achilles injury. He, of course, has 2 MVPs as well. So if Joe Burrow wants to really cement himself in there with guys that are all-time greats, at some point he's got to bring one of these home, and I think this year is the perfect year to do just that. So you let me know, do you think Joe Burrow will win MVP in 2024? Type 1 for yes in the comments section if you believe he will, or type 0 for no. Joe Burrow really has put up solid numbers when he's out there healthy, playing football, right? But we always talk about with him, it's not the numbers. It's between the ears with Joe Burrow and what he can do in big-time moments, 3rd down, 4th down specifically, late in games, rising to the occasion, prime-time player, all those kinds of things. The brighter the lights, the better Joe Burrow plays, and that's exactly what you see out of MVP candidates. And look who he's throwing the football to. This is the big thing, right? He's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Probably the last year that he has both of them. and he's healthy right now. So healthy Joe Burrow, healthy T. Higgins, healthy Jamar Chase. Man, that trio is super, super dangerous, and the guys behind those guys aren't nothing to sneeze at either. Jermaine Burton figures to be a major factor for Cincinnati offensively. Chase Brown, in the screen game, bringing in some tight ends. Mike Gesicki in free agency, drafting 2 as well. He's got all kinds of weapons at his disposal. He's got all kinds of health right now. Obviously, that's going to fluctuate throughout the season and training camp. People are going to get hurt. That's just the way it is. But right now, he's got everything going for him, and there's really no reason to think anyone else in the league has a better shot at winning the MVP than Joe Burrow. If you made it to the end of today's show, number one, you're a real one. We appreciate you. And spam Houday in the comment section. Let us know you made it throughout the entire video. Again, that means a lot to us here at the channel that you stayed with us throughout the entirety of the program. So get in the comment section and spam Houday right now.